Okay, Ernest, tell me a little bit about your childhood.
I was born in 1899, Oak Park, Illinois.
What were some of the jobs you had before you became an author?
I worked in Kansas at a newspaper office at age 17. I moved back to America because I reported and worked for the Canadian newspaper. Yep.
What kind of things do you like to write about?
Well, I'm a manly man, so I like to write about soldiers, bullfighting, hunting.
And tell me about your time in the military.
Well, I was a volunteer ambulance and group for Italian Army, and I was wounded in battle. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, who are you?
Oh yeah,
I am Lady Georgette.
And Georgette, what do you do for a living?
I am a lady of the night.
How did you come to meet Jake?
Jake rented me for a night, and we went out to dinner and to the dance. We were having a nice night until Jake left me at the dance for some other girl.
And who are you, ma'am?
I am Frances.
What's your relationship with Robert?
Robert was my husband before he left me.
Why did Robert leave you?
He wanted to go back to New York because he wrote a book and he met a bunch of ladies there and realized he liked the single life better.
So what is your name, sir?
My name is Drew.
So, Drew, what's your last name?
My last name is Peacock. Private Drew Peacock.
So, Private Peacock, how were your experiences in the military?
I was a trumpet player in the 37th French Battalion. I lost both my legs, 2 fingers, and 17 eyelashes in the war.
How have the injuries you sustained in the war affected your daily life?
Well, my daily life has been greatly affected. I can no longer walk, obviously, seeing as I have no legs. I still manage to get around in my wheelchair, but I value life much more knowing that it could stop at any moment, so I just love to go out and get drunk with my friends on the weekends and just live life to the fullest. Also, I now have a fake finger.
Ew,
There
that's
it is.
gross.
Fake finger. You want- What is your name again, sir?
My name is Mike.
And Mr. Mike, what exactly is your relationship to Brett?
Brett is my future wife. I plan on marrying her sometime here in the near future.
My sources have told me that you and Brett went on a nice trip recently. How did that go?
Overall, the trip went great. Except I don't really like that all the guys try to hang out around Brett when they know that we're gonna get married. Jake, Romero, and Robert went on the trip with us too. Actually, we met Romero there. And Brett kept hanging out around him. I don't know what they were up to. And nobody really likes Robert. I mean, he's a Jew, so nobody really likes him. And Jake is just obsessed with her. Like, he'll do anything she asks him to.
And who are you?
I'm the director of The Sun Also Rises.
And what is this book about?
Well, the book starts off with Jake. He was in the Army and he sustained an injury that removed his male reproductive organs. And while he was in the hospital there, that's when he met Brett. And they became in love, but she wouldn't marry him and she wouldn't do stuff with him because he couldn't reproduce with her, no reproductive organs. And so she kept him around though, used him, he did whatever she asked him to. just used him. But she had a future husband named Mike, and she still teased other guys and led other guys on and did stuff with other guys. And Jake had a friend named Robert who had a future wife, but she was crazy. And they got married, and then she freaked out on him because he wrote a book and went to New York with it and thought that he was cheating on her and all sorts of stuff. So they divorced. And then Robert became obsessed with Brett, and they just loved each other so much. And then they went to San Sebastian together. And then, everybody went to Spain and they watched the bullfights. And then during the bullfighting, Brett found a bullfighter named Romero, and she really liked him, and so they started hanging out, and Robert didn't find that too fond and went and beat him up and all sorts of good stuff, and everybody left, and Brett stayed with Romero. But then later in the book, she called Jake to have him come get her, and he did, and they lived happily ever after.
Sounds very interesting.
It was a decent book. The ending kind of threw me off, though, just a bunch of loose ends, unanswered questions. It really confused.